Hello, good evening. My name is Rocco Wunderle, and welcome everyone. It's a free Zoom event about creating a life that you desire. So let's get straight to it. So what would it be like if you could create a life with ease, create a life that works for you, a life that is really fascinating, full of excitement, and it's really just fun, happiness, and ease and joy. And what is holding us back from creating a life that is like that? What is the greatest barriers or limitations that are stopping us from having a life or creating a life the way we would like to live that life? A life that is full of abundance, a life where we really enjoy every moment of that life. And how does it happen that it always just stays like a dream and it never happens, it never comes true? And yeah, so what's the reason and why it doesn't really work? But though at the same time we feel it is possible, or it's more than a feeling, it's rather an awareness that it is possible, but somehow there is quite a big distance from what we feel, what is our gut feeling about it's possible, and also how the way it works out at the end. And so this call is about using the tools of access consciousness to create your life and break down the limitations that are holding you back from creating the life that you truly desire. And one of the amazing tools is that we use, and that's sort of the first tool that we learn is the bars, which is a one-day training. And how does it work? So what we learned that there are 32 points on the head, and each point stores the electromagnetic element of all the judgments and points of view that we have about one particular area of life. So for example, there is a point for money, another one for creativity, another one for joy and for sadness and for healing others and healing yourself. So what is your healing capacity and how your body can heal? Also, we have a separate point for the body, also another one for aging, and all our points of view about aging. And as I said, there are 32 points on the head. So why it is important that what we think, or what is our point of view about a certain area of life? It's simply just what happens that, hello Luisa, thanks for joining. So what happens that we create a belief system, and we hope that once we have the right belief system in place, that will sort of help us to drive our life. That will help us to know how to act or what to do in a certain situation, how we should relate in a certain situation, how we should relate to people, and how we should feel, or what we should show in certain situations, like feelings. It really drives our life, how we live our daily life. And let's say none of that is really about awareness. So when we listen to our belief system, the belief system is a list, or a big group of points of view that we follow when it fits, when something happens to us and that fits into the box. And instead of listening to our awareness, we follow these rules, what our belief system says. And there is no such thing as a good belief system or a bad belief system, because what a belief system does, it doesn't allow you to see what's real. It only allows you to see what matches the belief system and what matches it energetically. So let's say if you learned from your parents that it's not easy to create enough money, and you have to really you have to work 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, and in your profession you are sort of allowed to, there is a limit of the maximum salary that you can earn, and as long as you follow this belief system, it would not allow you to move over that, to create more than that. And also, you will only see those examples around you in your life that are matching this belief system. So for example, if you have a friend, let's say a broker, who creates much more money than what you can earn, then either you cannot even, so for example, if that person would like to help you to create more money, that is just not part of your reality, and you are just not receiving the information, and you cannot do anything with that information that you just received about how to create more money. So it's like having a tunneled vision. Your belief system is a tunneled vision. You can only see as much your belief system allows you to see. You can only perceive that area of life, nothing outside of it. It doesn't allow you, it blocks you from seeing things, and also from choosing things that are, because it's not just not, you just not feel it comfortable to choose it, and it's really, sometimes it doesn't really exist in your reality. And that's why we say there is no such thing as good or bad belief system. There is just belief system, and it always limits you. And that limits you from creating a life that you truly desire. You can create a life that matches the belief system that you have, but very often your belief system and your dreams are not the same, or it's really not equal. And what I would like to invite you is to use the access bars as a tool, because what access bars does, and all these points that I mentioned earlier, the 32 points on the head, are also called the bars, because some of the points are not a point shape, but a longer bar shaped thing on the head. And by gently touching these points, what happens, we release the electromagnetic element of the belief systems, a feeling, thought, or an emotion, or a judgment, electromagnetic element. So what it means that you hear many things, let's say, about money, but not all of them will form part of your belief system. Many of them will just go away, and it stays neutral to you. It has no impact, no effect on your life. You don't use it as a building element for your belief system. But there are ones which for some reason you add some charge to it, and those will create part of your belief system. And that charge is the electromagnetic element that will be stored at that bars, at that point on that head, on the head. Let's say what you learned from your parents, let's say they had so many problems with money every month, and they ran out of money, and they were really not successful, or even they never tried to create money outside of the usual 5 days a week work type life. And you learn that, and through their sufferings and through their experiences, you live in the same energetic area where they lived, and you learn the same energetic patterns that they went through. So you make it significant, and you, by making something significant, you put a charge on it, and immediately, once you made something significant, that thing becomes part of your belief system, and from that moment it starts to sort of drive your life. It becomes part of the system that knowingly or unknowingly drives your life. So when we run the bars, what happens that gently touching these points, you allow it to release the electromagnetic element of these belief systems. And so how does it work, and how it can really help you to create a life that you desire? One very simple way is, if you don't do anything, you just ask someone to run your bars, or if you already learned how to run bars, because there is a one-day training which focuses on to teach people how to run someone else's bars, and also it teaches you how to run your own bars. And so if you attend the class, then after that you can do it for yourself, and you can clear the different areas of your life where you see that your dream and your life, your reality, the daily reality that you are living, is not the same thing. So therefore you really know that I have to do something here, because my belief system doesn't allow me to create the life that I really would be excited to live. It would be so exciting to wake up every morning and just, wow, my life is amazing, my relationship is amazing, my work, my career is amazing, I really love what I'm doing, I really love the way I live, how much money I have, in which ways do I spend my time, my work time or my free time, my weekends, the way the type of relationships I have, how creative I am, how much fun and joy I can have in my life. And so you can look around the different areas of your life, like money, relationship, family, creativity, career, your body, your health, or if you're a spiritual healer or do some kind of healing, any type of it, then you can also look into what are your points of view about healing, and how do you perform as a healer, how many clients are coming to you, what are the things that you cannot work, and what are your points of view why you cannot help these clients, and what would you like to do, or how would you like to work with clients. And anyway, any part of your life that doesn't really work, or you know there is something better, something greater is possible, and there are the areas you have to go and change. So start to run those bars on your head on a daily basis, or as often you can, and that would allow you to release the electromagnetic charge of the judgments, expectations, points of view, conclusions, and all the separations. So these are the building elements of the belief system. So it would allow you to let go and break down the belief system. So what happens once a part, like an element of a belief system, or the whole belief system, is broken down? So you are not left alone and become insane. What happens that that tunnel vision that you had before, let's say because of the belief system, you only seen this much of the world. So anything that was outside of it, to the left or to the right or above, it was invisible. So for example, about finding money, if finding money on the street is not part of your belief system, you can easily walk away and pass a $100 bill on the street, and you will not see that. This is how serious is that, having a belief system. This is how effective is that. And once you break down the belief system, what happens? Suddenly this tunnel vision starts to open up. And the more and more times you run your bars, or you ask someone to run your bars, what happens? You open up to the whole universe, and your tunnel visions just starts to become, it just disappears, and you will see everything, and you will have a chance to choose more things, because the possibilities are all existing around you. It's not something that is not there. Your belief system is the one that creates a limitation, so you believe it doesn't even exist, so therefore you cannot choose it. Once you break down the belief system, you suddenly start to see all the things that are available and around you, so you can choose it. And that's the big thing, that you are not choosing amazing possibilities because the belief system doesn't allow you to even recognize that the possibility exists. And most often you are not even thinking about a possibility because it's not part of your belief system. And yeah, so actually we can see, so belief system is a construct. And we create a belief system based on what we learned from our parents, from the friends, from the mentors, from anyone who is important or somehow significant in our life. Also, we learn from experiences, or we create conclusions from putting together different judgments, and we can have a huge big castle built up from these building elements, like judgments, expectations, points of view, and conclusions. So what happens once you break down the belief system? Suddenly you find yourself in a place, in a space, where you can choose anything that you desire. And suddenly it's how you have the awareness that there is much more possible than it was before. And you suddenly can see the things, perceive the things, you can choose those things that you really desire, so you can have the life that you desire. Do you have any questions so far about belief systems or creating your life? Right. So anywhere where it seems so hard, or anywhere where you cannot perceive and receive what is a belief system and how you can break it down, will you destroy and uncreate all of that? Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And by the way, if this is the first time you listen to an Access Consciousness event, this was the clearing statement, and there is a YouTube. On YouTube, there are many videos about what is the clearing statement. We will add the links to this video at the end, so you can read and listen it and learn more about it, what it means. Actually, what a clearing statement does, it approaches that thing that we would like to clear from many areas, from all the polarity, from all the areas where we added polarity to that thing. Because what happens when there is you have a point of view and it has polarity, let's say it's right or it's wrong, something, or it's good or bad, that's polarity. Suddenly, by creating polarity, you add energy to it, and that's how it starts to become part of your belief system. And once it's part of your belief system, it will drive your life. So by making something or adding polarity to something, you make it significant. And anything that you make significant, that will drive your life. Yeah. So, yeah, the other option is that if you haven't been to a one-day class, and during a one-day class, what happens, you receive a head chart with all these points on the head. Also, you receive around 60 or 80 pages manual that you can read through, and it is full of clearings that helps you to clear many things in your life. And also, it tells you how to run the bars, what each point is about, and much more details about what is necessary to know for you to be a practitioner. Because once you attend the one-day Access Bars class, you become a practitioner. You can give sessions to others, to your beloved ones, to colleagues, or you can start a business and run these treatments or sessions, like one-on-one sessions. And that's a pretty amazing tool that can help you to transform or change other people's lives and change your own life. Like, if you don't know, for example, if someone comes to you and they just want to receive a treatment, and you don't know anything about them, you don't know what is their problem, and you just know how to run the bars. And just by going through the whole sequence of the 32 points, and a treatment can take from 20 minutes from an hour and a half, but if you run the full treatment, it's rather an hour or hour and a half. What happens that each and every area of that person's life starts to get lightens up and starts to have more ease. So you sort of break down and let go many of their limitations. And the amazing thing that is that anywhere where you have a limitation and someone else connected to your limitation, what happens that when you become free of your limitation, those who connected to your one, they will become free as well. So it's not something that you do it for yourself, but anytime when you do it, when you run your own bars, you end up clearing other people's lives as well. So that's how powerful it is. And imagine that in how many lifetimes you created something from the same point of view, from the same limitation or the same belief system, and how many hundreds or hundreds of thousands of people connected to the same limitation through you. And once you clear it for you, that you set them free. You allow them to choose something different that wasn't available for them before. So it is if you choose to change the people's life around you, and if you choose to help them to create a life that they desire, it is an amazing and powerful tool and very simple. The person just lays down comfortably on a massage table and you touch these points, you spend time on those, and it's a very silent, it can be a silent session when nothing is told, and you spend like in a meditation for an hour and a half. And the worst case scenario, if they may think nothing happened, so by the end of the session they feel like they received an amazing massage. That's the worst case scenario. They will feel like receiving an amazing massage. Best case scenario, their whole life can change. Anything that was a limitation before will just disappear, and they wake up from that massage table like a totally different person who like Superman, and they can see that, oh, I was suffering from having this limitation. I had no idea how to change this area. Now suddenly it's not heavy anymore, and I have ease, and I can't see any boundaries or barriers around me. So I can go and change. I can see the life differently. The color starts to be so vivid, and everything around you is full of life. And all the areas where you blocked and locked down the energies that you have suddenly just freed up, and you suddenly have access to all the energies that you have to have. And it's really a life-changing thing. Oh yeah, there is just a question. It is about the concept of creating what I desire in life. There is something heavy to me in there because I have a belief that what I desire is not necessarily a contribution to creating greater and lighter possibilities for others. Is there a lie attached to this, or some wonky belief I have both? Or yeah, thank you for the question. So yes, we all have that point of view that if you want to create a better life for you, that's sort of like a sin. You're not allowed to have a good life, or you're not allowed to have a life that is better than the life of the majority around you, or you have to fit into a box. You have to suffer the same way as your parents, as your family, as your friends, as the whole society, or as the nation, because that's normal, that's how you belong. And once you truly can belong to others, that's normal, and that's what has to make you happy, because something that is good for others should be good for you. So that's what we learn from the beginning of life, most of us. But the truth is that we are all unique individuals, and something that is good for someone else may not good for me, or may not equally that good for me. And it's not because I'm just an idiot and I hate good things, or I hate to belong to others, just because I'm a totally different person and it will not fit my life. So someone may like blue shoes and others may like pink shoes. Why would life be different in that way? Like if for someone, let's say, having a job that is 5 days a week and 40 hours a week and working for a big company, and they enjoy it. Why should everyone choose it? And you can see that there are entrepreneurs, sole traders, and there are people like employees. They can have freedom with that. So so why would it be a sin, or why would it be a problem when we want to create something that is different from the majority of the people around us? Why it has to be? In many areas of our life, we can see that there is a possibility to choose, there is a possibility to create something else. But the thing is, we buy into other people's points of view, and once somehow we feel or we desire something different, we start to feel bad. We start to have a bad conscience that is holding us back from choosing more. That is always like dragging us back, dragging down to be part of let's say other people's reality, and create the same level, the same thing that they create, just because we bought into the same belief system, but we feel it doesn't work for us. So once you made it significant, and once you believe that you have to follow other people's points of view, or that is a good point of view, but what you make, you solidify it. And anytime when the situation is a little bit similar, you go back to that solution and you use the same solution. But there are no two situations the same. So what happens that you really need to apply your awareness instead of listening to a point of view or following a belief system. Because your awareness, that's the other thing, that we are sort of infinite beings with a physical body. And the infinite beings can know everything. There is no such thing that, oh, I don't know. You just choose not to know, but you know it. And as an infinite being, you will know that something else is possible for you. But once you buy into a belief system, that is sort of clashing the thing, because everyone else is choosing this, and I'm not allowed to choose something else. So when you want to choose something else based on, when you feel that there is something else is possible, you will feel bad about choosing something else, because that is sort of swimming against the stream. It's not something acceptable by others. And we always try to be part of the tribe, because in the past, or there were times when it was safe to be part of the tribe and live together and follow the same principles and the same rules. But it doesn't mean we have to follow the same thing forever, just because it was good in some stage or in some periods of life. So you can choose a totally different reality if you see that's the reality, that's the thing that can work for you at that moment. Do we have any more questions, or any questions? Yep. All right. And there is another way how you can use the tools, the access bars, which is a more targeted use. When you have a client or someone comes to you, or you realize that where is your problem, in which area. So what you can do is you start sort of, either you list, so for example, if you would like to work on yourself and improve your life, you just select an area and write down all your points of views about that area. Like, let's say about money, why you cannot earn more money. And because this is the upper limit of the salary in my profession, or in my region there are not enough clients, and there are so many practitioners like me, so therefore they already built up their business, and there are no more people, or no more people are interested. So these are all points of view, and through having these points of view, we create a reality. Because nothing outside of this can be seen by you, or you cannot perceive it if that is outside of the belief system. So the first step is you just take a piece of paper and write down the whole story, why you cannot have what you dream about, what you really desire to have. in that area of life. And then you will see many, many statements and point of views that feel so real, because it is sort of reflected by everyone that this is how this reality works. And because of that, it feels so real, you think it's totally real. So what you can do is let's say if that particular area is about money, you just ask your bars connected to the money to run. So you ask your bars to run, and then you start to read those sentences, those statements, and your whole story about why it's not working. And after each and every sentence, you just say, okay, now I destroy and uncreate all of that. And very often what happens, we buy into other people's realities, so it's not even ours, so it's not a conclusion that we get through putting together our experiences, but it's rather other people's points of view, and you can just simply return it to the sender or to the source with consciousness attached to it. And just by doing this, and then it's so amazing if you even record it to your mobile phone and then create a loop and listen to the clearing overnight. So you just make sure that all layers of this story that is holding you back, and all the elements of the story that is holding you back, is energetically released or destroyed and uncreated. And what happens if you do that by the next day, or if you run it overnight, what happens next day, you will have sort of total freedom at that area. And it can also happen that there are much more points of view about why it shouldn't happen or why it cannot happen. So anything that comes up in that topic, just take the piece of paper and write it down. Why? What else came up that doesn't allow it to happen? And it really doesn't matter if you think with all your capacities that is the truth. Let's say one thing that happened, that I had a point of view that I wanted to buy a car, and I had a point of view that it was a $1 deal and went up to a certain price, which was sort of the half price of the total price. And I said, I just don't have more money. I couldn't afford it because the total price would be much more. But I had an idea that what if something else is possible? So I started bidding on it. And what happened, that it stopped at that certain price that was matching what I had. Because what I did, I started to break down all these points of view. And suddenly that was the car which was sold to me at half price. So, and there are many elements to it, how it worked out or what happened, but it is so amazing that once you break down these barriers, these limitations, these points of view, because if I wouldn't do that, then I would say, oh hell, it's not for me, go to the next page. I'm not trying, I'm not even trying because it's not for me. But I had a sensation that somehow that car is for me, and I have to do something with this. And I was so excited about the car, so I started to clear and started to list all of my story, all the elements of my story, why it is not good. Oh, it's a European car, it would be so expensive to maintain it, to take it to the garage every 6 months or whenever. And oh, I cannot have it because it costs too much in any ways. But I felt that's the car for me, and I really wanted to have it. So I did the clearings, and also I bought the car, and I found a guy who was fixing it like for a third price. It was cheaper than any other garage was working around. So all the points of view that you have is really just creating a limitation that doesn't allow you to create a reality or a life that you really desire. Also, I have many examples about, let's say, about money and job. And there is one thing that you can say that I would like to have this, but I see no one will support me, or everyone around me who are sort of all those people who are controlling or operating in that environment are against what I feel right or what is possible. So what happens when you start to break down all these points of view and limitations, there will be always someone, or there will be something that will support you. There will be the possibility that you were not considering before that, just because you standardized a point of view that no one would allow it to happen. Sorry, there is another question. So when you use the access bars tools, can you also do clearings at the same time? Oh yeah, I was not talking about this. So what happens that, so when we learn the one-day training, the access bars training, it is really about how do you touch these points and how do you find the spot on the head and how you perform, I mean, how you run the treatment. But also we can do clearings, and the clearing is what it means. A clearing, you bring up the energy of the limitation and then you destroy and uncreate it, because it's by choice, by choosing it, you destroy and uncreate it. So that's what I'm talking about when I say that please have a piece of paper like an A4 size and list the whole story. By listing the whole story, why you cannot have it, or why it's not going to happen, or why you cannot create the result, the desired result, each and every limitation has an energy behind it that makes it heavy. It makes it feel heavy or swampy or something similar to it. So just by writing it down to a piece of paper, you bring it to the surface. And when you run the clearing, and there is a clearing statement in Access Consciousness that I mentioned before, and we will attach the link of that video so people can watch it and better understand what is that for. So when you run a clearing and you touch these points on the head, you bring up the particular area's belief system and you clear it, and it goes away. So the whole session can run in many ways. One is that there are no clearing statements, there are no clearings. The person just lays down on the massage table, and you as a practitioner, in a sequence, you touch these points and you go through one by one. The other option is that the client says that I have to change this or that area in my life, so you know already which are the points that relate to it, and you focus more on those points, and you ask more questions about the client, and you go deeper and deeper, and you clear all those points of views for the client. That because once the client says the sentence like, oh, my story is this and this and this, you just start to create and to destroy and uncreate it and touch those points, and it works very simply and amazingly. So you can run a session in two ways. Silently, like not asking any questions, or by asking questions and running these clearings. And of course, it's quite up to you in which way you would like to, I mean, up to the client, what works better for the client, because receiving is really important. There are clients who better can receive if there is no talking during the session, and there are clients who can better who are much better to receive when they can talk about it and they can express it. And none of that is better or worse than the other. It's just a choice. And as a practitioner, the best what you can do is honoring the choice of the client, honoring what works in this situation for the client. And also it can change. Let's say one day a silent session works better for the client, and the next time when the same client comes back, it's rather a talking session or running clearings. And there are more questions. So Rocco, did you say that you can ask the bars to turn themselves on and clear all the points of views we have about something? Will it be more efficient if we have someone else running the bars for us, or is it still efficient when we do this on our own? Yes, that's a very interesting thing. People can run their own bars, and and that is efficient. But what we see that when someone else is running your bars, that is more and more powerful. And in some way, we really love, or we really enjoy the touch, and also when you, there is one interesting thing. If there is a bigger group, or there is someone who you really hate, or somehow your relationship is not the best would be if you would choose that person to run your bars. Not because you want to suffer, but there is a reason why you hate or cannot stand that person. And that's somehow something is in your belief system. And at that very moment, if you are in one room with that person, the best or the greatest result or benefit for you would be to choose that person and invite that person to run your bars. And that's not just a benefit to you, but it's a benefit always to both of you. Because once you as a practitioner run someone else's bars, you also benefit from that, and the client benefits from that as well. Because during the session, your bars are running as well. And so that's why when the other thing is we are having swaps. What it means that there are weekly or monthly gatherings in the region, and different, like say, bars facilitators arrange these swaps. And the purpose of the swap is people come together and they run bars for each other, so they practice. And also people who never been to the one-day training, they are also allowed to join to have a taster of it. And that's really amazing, because that allows you to have a taster, so you know what will be the training or what you are signing up when you want to attend the training. And as this is an hour and a half treatment that what people receive, there is a fee charged usually due at these swaps. Oh, there is a question. Can you talk about the foundation class and what it's all about too? All right. So the first step in access consciousness is really about learning the bars, or how to run the bars, because that's how you really can change nearly everything in your life. And that's a one-day training. And the next step is, if someone wants more and wants to learn more and wants to create or some way you are stuck, there is another training which is called the foundation. That's a 4-day training. It's 4 days in a row, and the purpose of it is really sort of, it makes you foundationless. Because the foundation, what you see as the foundation of your life is a lot of belief systems. I mean, hundreds of belief systems, and you create your life from the beginning of your life and from many previous lifetimes, and you base everything on that foundation. And the purpose of this 4-day course is to make you foundationless by going step by step through different areas of your life, which is one is, let's say, about family and relationships. So it gives more information about why do you live in that family and how you should relate to the family, or gives you more information and brings up the awareness. And that's also the foundation class, where we learn to use the questions, because there are many amazing questions. And the questions are helping the person to go deeper with the client and go deeper with yourself. And it helps to learn facilitation, to facilitate yourself and facilitate a client, so you can clear that dynamic. So it's not just about clearing the belief system, but dynamics as well, which is really important, because a dynamic is very hidden most of the time, and it's a dynamic or a pattern that you follow is someone else's dynamic or pattern, and you become aware of these more subtle energies. So that's the foundation class is about. And also during the foundation class, what happens, we learn for energetic body processes. So it's an amazing thing in access consciousness. It's not just about the infinite being. It's not just about spirituality from developing spiritual capacities with the infinite being. But it's also about working with the physical body and improving the physical body as well at the same time, and helping the body to let go all those past experiences or patterns that the body is bought into. Because what happens, you come into this lifetime and you have a body, and you pick up other people's choices, or you start to mimic them. So you have so many diseases and hardships with your physical body that's not even yours. And there is a energetic body process that we learn to let it go. And also we learn other body processes to help with injuries or boost your immune system, and that's all part of the 4-day foundation class. Also, the other thing that in foundation, there are two terms. One is the foundation, and another one is the platform. So the foundation class, it really helps people to break down their foundation, because the foundation is a solid creation that doesn't like change. It doesn't allow you to change it. And instead of that, build a platform, and the platform moves together with you, and it has flexibility, so it allows you to change it and to create it in a way that works for you all the time. So it doesn't have any solid part in it. So in one way we can call it the foundation class. Is really the purpose of it is to make you foundation less, or to build a platform. Yes, that was a question about the body processes that I was talking about. That yeah. So one is how we mimic other people's choices, pains and sufferings, and that's a clearing for that. So very often we buy into our parents' diseases or problems like money issues, and we lock it into the physical body. So there is an energetic body process to clear it from the physical body. Because anything that you lock into the physical body, it resonates with you all the time. So what it means, your body just like a huge magnet, like it invites and attracts all the people with the same type of thing, and all the situations with the same type of things. So you really need to clear it in order to change your life. So one thing is understanding the dynamic, and the other thing is clearing the points of view and the judgments from the belief system, but you have to work with the physical body and clear the thing from the physical body as well. And there is another question. The body process, oh, I can't see, hold on. If you are adopted, can you clear that foundation? Really, you can. So, what is our point of view about a topic? So, and it can be any topic, but once it's personal to you, that topic, it becomes significant. And for someone, let's say it is about adoption. For someone else, it is about poverty. For someone else, it's a physical, something with the physical body, what they have, let's say a genetically impaired disease. And it's really just a point of view, and it's really just just choosing it. So what I've seen from practicing it and working with people and do a lot of healing, and healing the physical body and healing their points of views, or breaking down their belief system, that each and every limitation we create, whether it's showing up in the physical body in our life, can be changed. And there is no such thing. So it sticks to you because you make it significant. Because personally, it hurts you. And there are people who are not hurted from this thing, and there are ones who take it really personal, and therefore it creates a big limitation for them. So yes, you can clear that as well. And one thing is that so there is also another thing. So during the foundation class, let's say we talk about family, and we run a lot of clearings about family and the relationships that we have with the parents, with grandparents, and in any type of relationship. We go through many clearings. Also, there is a karma clearing during the foundation class. So it's really about stopping the cycle of karma that we bought into. The other thing is what we have is working with entities and sending them away, or become more aware about what they want and how you can work with it. The other part is working with demons and clearing demons. And what else we do? What else do we have? We talk about food and the physical body as well. So how you can work with food and how you can work with your physical body and what is good for your body instead of following a diet. Yes, we talk about different types of energy pools, like pulling or pushing, and in which situation what you can do. And we do a lot of exercises during these 4 days, and to learn how it really works, so you can see it when you try yourself, and you can see how powerful it can be, and how strong, how easily it can change situations. Actually, so it is a 160-page manual, and there are so many questions. Oh yeah, so that's the thing. Thank you for the question. So the 4 days of class, so what we do, there is a, as I mentioned, 160 pages manual that everyone receives, and also we record the whole 4 days of the class, and I send out the audio recording, so you can re-listen it, and because what happens usually during a class, people sort of pick up like 5 to 10% of what happens during the class, and then by re-listening it, you can hear those things that you didn't hear for the first time because of your belief system was created a limitation, and it didn't allow you to receive it. And when you run and maybe we run some clearing on the 4th day that would allow you to receive some information that was provided on the first day. So when you re-listen it, it really allows you to go deeper in the same topic and go deeper and deeper and deeper. And yeah, and anytime after that, you can open up your manual and find the same topic and see, I remember, let's say, distractor implant. What is a distractor implant? Oh, hell, and how should I work with it? Oh, it's written here. Now I can find it, and now I can easily apply it in my own life. So it's a really amazing thing, because you learn energetic body processes. How does it feel? What is, because the bars is also an energetic body process, but it's on the head, and these processes are helping you to work with your immune system, to boost your immune system, to work with pains and injuries that are locked into your body, and remove that, or remove other people's pathways and choices and symptoms, and also part of the class is an ESC. It's an energetic synthesis of communion, which is hour and a half or 2 hours long recording done by Dr. Dane here. It's an amazing meditation that clears a lot out. And also we learn a technique that helps, that teaches you how you can alter the molecular structure of something. And it's amazing. Let's say if you have a food, let's say you have a cheap wine that doesn't really work, it's not the best taste. When you run this process, what you can do, everything that is in that wine molecularly that's not good for your physical body, you can remove it. And anything that is not there that would be good and supportive to your physical body, you can bring it into and create it. And after 5 minutes, that a glass of wine will taste totally differently than other people's glass of wine that was the same type of wine. So there are really, really powerful and unique tools that handed over during the 4 days of foundation class. And also it's not just about, so how to say, that we use those clearings only that are in the manual, but anyone who has anything coming up during the class, it's there to be facilitated. So it's sort of, and it's not like, oh, we facilitated someone and it's not the benefit to others, but everyone will benefit from that. It's contribution to everyone. So I would like to really encourage everyone who attends a class that please ask as many questions you can and bring up everything that you have in your life, because it really helps you. Whatever helps you will help others who have the same thing, and everyone has something similar. So if you have something going on in your relationship and it's facilitated and it's cleared and the limitations are broken down and removed, then other people who have the same limitations or similar limitations, it will be removed and cleared for them as well. So it's amazing for them, and they all benefit who are there in the class. So I would like to invite everyone to please have questions. Come prepared with many, many questions, as many questions as you can, and be open to share those areas of your life that you would like to change, because that's what this class for. Yeah. Okay. So I plan to talk about these things, about access bars and foundation, and that there are so many tools available that we can use to really create a life that we desire, a life that is exceptional, a life that is amazing and fun and joyful, and it's accessible to create. There is no such thing that you cannot have and you cannot create. It's really a possibility. You just need to choose. And there are the tools to choose and to create it. So thank you so much, and be brave and choose a life that you desire and start creating it. Thank you for all your contribution and the amazing questions. I'm so grateful for the question that helped a lot. And I would like you to if you have any more questions, that just please come and ask. And other things, that there are going to be bars classes held in the region and foundation classes held in the region. And also, so Luisa Giacon is amazing access bars facilitator. And she will hold a class on the 1st of June in Mapua, Nelson. And also Gwen Grelet is also an amazing access bars facilitator, and of course much more, because they both are body process practitioners and facilitators, and they will hold classes. And you can ask them, if you live in that region, when do they hold a class, and when and where. And also in Mapua, there will be a foundation class starting on the 2nd of June, running until the 5th of June. So it's sort of on the 1st of June, there is the bars class with Luisa. And from the 2nd to the 5th, there is a foundation with me facilitated. So thank you so much for all your questions and all your help. And I'm so excited that I see so many people interested and so many people choosing more than what is possible and creating a greater life. And just keep it in mind, anytime when you create something more that wasn't possible before, you sort of invite everyone else and you create a possibility for them as well. So please wake up and start creating the life that you desire. Thank you so much. I was Rocco Wunderle, and wishing you all the best, and hope to see you one day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.